We're closing in on Election Day, and as part of our commitment to you, we have invited each congressional candidate to come in and answer questions or give a statement to help you decide who you'd like to vote for. Joining us tonight is George Gluck, running as the Green Party candidate in District 6. Thank you so much for joining us and coming in tonight.
Thanks for having me.
You have a statement that you'd like to read.
I do, thank you.
Go ahead.
So, hello, I'm George Gluck, the Green Party candidate for Maryland's 6th Congressional District, and I would like to address myself to the voters in District 6. Today I'm going to ask you to vote for a Democrat on November 4th, but not the candidate that has Democrat appearing after his name on the ballot. In 1968, I became eligible to register and vote for the first time. I recalled that a Democratic Congress and President had in 1964 and 5 passed and signed into law civil rights, voting rights, and anti-poverty legislation. So I felt very comfortable registering as a member of the Democratic Party and voting for Democratic candidates then and for years afterward. In our predominantly two-party system, Republicans typically attempt to reach the voter just to the left of the median in the political spectrum, and Democrats attempt to reach the voter just to the right of the median. In 1968, that median voter hadn't moved too far from where she was when Republican Dwight D. Eisenhower was president in 1960. Since then, she has gradually moved further and further to the right. The Democratic Party had a choice of two ways to respond. It could have tried to increase its base and keep the median voter where she was, or adopt a more conservative platform and move right along with the Republican Party. In 1985, the Democratic Leadership Council was formed to do the latter. Despite their move to the right, I continued to vote for Democrats, donating both money and time to Governor Clinton's presidential campaign in 1992. But when he signed the North Atlantic Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, a bill passed by a Democratic Congress, I could no longer retain my relationship with the Democratic Party. In 1996, I started looking around and quickly rediscovered the party I joined in 1968 in the form of the Green Party. For me, the 2014 Green Party is the 1968 Democratic Party. So on November 4th, when you vote for the candidate to represent you, please vote for the 1965 Democrat, the one with Green Party appearing after his name on the ballot. And what is likely to happen if you elect me to represent you to Congress? I will ask to sit with the Progressive Caucus. I will vote for, endorse, and introduce some bills that our present congressman won't, and vote against some that he would vote for. My hope is that, at this turbulent time, this would suffice for you to cast your vote for me. If it isn't, please consider this. You hold in your hand a flask which contains two chemicals that you know should react, but there's no response. What is missing? What is missing is a catalyst. I assure you that if you, the voters of District 6, elect the first Green Party member to the House of Representatives, that act alone will be the catalyst that causes a reaction and changes to be made. First, on the night of November 4th, the electronic media will shout the fact that Maryland's 6th District has joined countries like Switzerland, who in 1979 elected a Green to Parliament, and 29 countries and the European Parliament, which in October 2013 had 309 Green Party members who held national legislative seats. On the morning of November 5th, the print media will do the same. More importantly, the other 534 members of the United States Congress will note this historic first and react to it. This reaction is sure to help the 6th District and the state of Maryland. Please vote for me so Maryland can proudly place a Green Party member in Congress before some district in California does.
Mr. Gluck, about a minute and a half, I want to ask you a couple of quick questions. Tell me about the unemployment rate. It's hovering around about 6%. More than 92 million Americans are still out of work, but the White House is touting that so many jobs have been created in the past year. If elected, how would you handle that situation?
Okay, well, obviously we need more jobs, but we need jobs that offer a living wage. The jobs that we lost over the last 20 years or so, actually more, 40, we've lost 60,000 factories. We're pretty close to living wage, if not above. But the jobs that we're replacing them with are minimum wage, if that much. For example, new folks in Detroit are coming in at 1/3 of what workers were making 40 years ago. So the idea is to create more demand. The supply side economics is voodoo economics. We've learned that over and over again. So we have to create more jobs. One of the ways I have a forum up in Hagerstown on Thursday, and one of the ways I'm going to propose to do that is to have more worker-owned businesses here in Maryland.
Okay. All right, George Gluck, Green Party candidate for the District 6. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me again.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after a break.